What is up, everyone? Welcome to the FAA podcast. Excited to have my boy Christian on. What's up, man?
Pleasure to be here. What's going on?
Resident Saints fan. You're one of two Saints fans I actually know, interestingly enough.
Ooh, really? You don't find much of us out there in the wild, so.
I know. The other one had to take his girl to see reminders of you tonight, so he couldn't be on.
All right, so we're gonna get at least a breakdown of how the film is, right?
I guess so. I don't know. But yeah, so we got the Commanders and the Saints tonight, and let's get it going. So like normal, Fernando Mendoza, number one. Ruben Bain. Wow, holy wait, we gotta calm down. We're gonna restart this actually. I forgot to hit slow. But before I restart this though, like holy hell.
Yeah, that's a
straight up
there.
3. My gosh. And they didn't have to pay a lot. I mean, to move up 13 spots, you pay 2 2s. That's wild.
Pretty good value there.
They would have to pay a first round. There ain't no.
Yeah, easily.
All right. Let's redo this and actually do slow so I can actually have time to read off the picks.
There we go.
All right. Fernando Mendoza. Jets. They go Ruben Bain. All right. Do they trade up again? No, they don't. Arvell Reese to the Cardinals. Titans. They're going Sonny Styles. Wow, that's high. Carnell Tate to the Giants at 5. Francis Mauigoa to the Commanders at 6. First pick, we're on with the Commanders. Now, again, I keep procrastinating this, Christian. I need to redo my needs. So I have post-free agency needs, all my needs that I have right now, except for the Cardinals and the Falcons, because I started to do them again, and then I fell asleep. So the needs that I have for each team are pre-free agency, but I have the rosters from our lads as well to kind of reference and see what they did in free agency to kind of gauge what we need pick-wise here. So before I do that, what do we got trade-wise? Lions. That's actually not a terrible trade. Second.
I mean, I feel like Washington has a lot of needs. I mean, they signed a lot of people in free agency, but at the same time, you need some of that long-term young talent.
Yeah, and they don't have a ton of picks. They have 6 picks. We only have 2 in the mock draft today, a first and a third. So that actually wouldn't be terrible. Moving down 10 spots, and we get an extra pick on day 2 plus a second next year. Now that one I love. I absolutely 2 spots, and you move up a whole round.
Yeah, that's actually some great value there. I wonder who the Chiefs would be trying to move up for.
Yeah, I mean, the issue is where we're at with Washington. So pre-free agency, I had edge number 1. I mean, that's I still think that's I mean, they did a good job. Odafe Owe, Caleb Chason, Charles Omenihu in free agency. So do we have to go edge? I don't know. Running back was my second one, but they did a great job with that. Rashad White, Jerome Ford, they still have JCM, and they re-signed Jeremy McNichols as well. Wide receiver, I think that's a big one. I think they need to hit wide receiver hard.
I say wide receiver and maybe corner as well, because they did release Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah. I like their starters. Mikey Sanders still and Trey Amos going into year 2 for him, year 3 for Sanders still. And they signed Amik Robertson to be their nickel. Like you're kind of saying that the depth is lacking. Tight end, they got Chigakonkwo. I probably still want to get one later. I don't think Ben Sinnott nor John Bates, the draft picks of those guys, has really worked out. Corner, linebacker. Yeah, they signed Leo Chenal. Definitely need some depth there. And then QB2, they're good. They re-signed Mariota.
Mhm.
Interior line and then tackle. Uh, they're fine there. They re-signed Chris Paul and they extended Tunsil. They re-signed Wiley. So I think they're actually pretty decent. I would like to get some more depth interior line wise. But I think the big one for Washington is wide receiver. In my
Mhm.
mind, looking at the
Some
roster,
playmakers around Jane Daniels there.
yeah, that and like you said, corner, uh, safety sneaky, but they have guys that I don't know. It doesn't look good to me what they have at
Mhm.
safety, other than Nick Cross, who they signed, but they're actually good players who they have.
Yeah.
So it's weird. But what do you think? You think we take this trade? I mean, love to have David Bailey. Maybe we can get him at 9 still, maybe. But
I
if
don't
not,
know.
are we okay? We still have Caleb Downs. We still, I mean, we signed running backs in free agency, but hell, if Jeremiah Love is there, I mean,
Yeah, that's a home run hitter. I mean, elite prospect there. So,
yeah,
um, I mean, if you like that cluster of players right around each other, and you move up a whole extra round for a team that needs some high caliber draft picks, I mean, I think it could be worth a gamble, especially if they have, Jeremiah Love, Bailey, Downs, all of them kind of grouped together, because you're going to get a shot at least one of them.
yeah. And even, I mean, even if we had to go, I mean, Tyson would fill the wide receiver need anyways. If
Yeah,
they're okay with the medicals, that is.
right.
But I say we do it. I mean, I think it's a home run
Cool. Let's
two
pull the
pick.
trigger.
It came up for Love,
Ooh.
which still doesn't make sense. I don't know why the mock sim keeps drafting Love to both Kansas City and New Orleans because it's like,
Yeah.
dude, sign big time free agents. They're not going to draft a guy that high.
Yeah, and it makes me think of, because they spent big money on free agents, that I don't know if he's going to fall that far to them,
Right.
if you really think
All right.
about it.
So we're on with
All
your
right.
Saint here.
Yeah,
Uh,
New Orleans.
same trade from the Lions.
Yeah, I think we're gonna skip. Appreciate the offer,
Oh,
Dan Campbell.
look at the Browns.
Wow. The Browns
Gosh.
must really have somebody they're coming up for.
I mean, that
Um,
is a ton of picks.
that's a ton of value, but I think we have a shot at some superstar talent right here. So I'm gonna reject the Browns as well. You
Okay.
know, you if you're looking at the Saints, they attacked a lot of their needs in free agency. They signed guard David Edwards from Buffalo, Travis Achan from Jacksonville. He brought back Caden Ellis to fill that void that Demario Davis left. You still have Cam Jordan out there in free agency, so we're not too sure what's going to go on with him. So I think you're looking at edge is definitely a need. David Bailey is very enticing at this part. You want a running mate with Chris Olave, so Jordan Tyson again with the medical is going to be his biggest piece. You can see that, and then add some corner depth or some depth at safety. I mean, you lost Alontae Taylor, who played kind of that star role in Brandon Staley's defense. He's in Tennessee now, so now you're looking at Quincy Riley and Kool-Aid McKinstry on the outside. Not really sure who's going to play that nickel role. For me, the person that really sticks out at me is Caleb Downs. He's one of my favorite players in this draft. His IQ is through the roof. Great in zone coverage. Really that enforcer. Now his size and his length isn't incredible, but because he's such a cerebral player, I think he could be an absolute star in that star role in Brandon Staley's defense, kind of in that mold of a Derwin James. So for me, I mean, I really like Caleb Downs this pick.
Yeah, not a bad thing to go. I mean, you hit on pretty much everything. It's interesting. The Saints are one of the few teams I think that the pre-free agency needs didn't change a ton when I'm
Yeah.
looking at the roster, other than tight end because they got Noah Fant to go behind Jawan Johnson and running back with Travis Etienne. But yeah, I mean, edge, wide receiver, corner, definitely still the top three. Hey, you don't like Bailey? You don't like going with because
I do like
I
Bailey.
like the safeties. I like the safeties here. Justin Reed, Jonas Sanker, Jordan Howden, and they re-signed Julian Blackman as well.
I do, but I just think he's just a different kind of talent level there, and he could slot in and play that nickel role immediately. You know, it's a role he excelled in at Ohio State. You know,
Yeah,
I
right
think either way, we can't go wrong with it, right? Bailey
now. Mhm.
had great edge depth. Then that would also close the door on Cam Jordan coming back, and then with Caleb Downs, he could eventually take over because Justin Reed's been playing great, but he's almost to be 30, so you do need a long term solution at that safety spot as well.
Yeah, it's your pick anyways because your team. So, but yeah, they do have our lads has Isaac Yiadom and Kool Aid McKinstry on the outside. Quincy Riley in the slot currently.
Yeah, I don't. I think Quincy's just better suited to be outside. To be fair, I think I would actually have those flip. I would have Yadam in the nickel,
Mm.
but you know, I think at this part, I'm standing on the table. I'm banging the table for my guy. I'm going Downs, and I will go down with Downs if it doesn't work out.
Sounds good. Caleb Downs, the Saints. We're back on Washington. What trade offers we got now? Chicago sending the
Ooh.
house. Oh my gosh, do we have
Wow, another two
another
spot.
twofer? I mean, you're
Wow.
moving into the first round now.
Yeah.
Holy hell, we moved up. If we accept this, okay, we would have moved up 41 selections from the
That's a
third
good day at the
round
office there.
to the first round and moved back 4 spots. This one is tougher though. We waited out and prayed that David Bailey would be here, and he is. Jordan Tyson is here. We have 2 corners available. We have Mekhi
Yeah.
Lemon as well. Keldrick Falk's the next edge on their board, anyways. I'm scared because I would really like to draft Bailey. As much as that trade, I would love that trade because you get 2 first round picks.
Yeah, you get more team flexibility with that fifth year option.
Yeah.
Um, just if we feel like edge is the number one need, I think that suits it. But I mean, also you're looking at receiver; it's high up there. I
We would
mean,
be done. We would be done with the our mock for the Commanders if we accepted that trade. Obviously, we can move back again at 30.
absolutely. Yeah. I just how do we feel about that cluster of players? Do we think we can get away with?
I don't think I highly doubt that David Bailey will be available at 9.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't really see
and
that.
I mean, you can even see it's a 5-spot ranking difference between Bailey and Tyson on the
Yeah,
overall rankings, and I like Tyson. I do. Tackle's not a big need because of the re-signing of Tunsil. Um, again, the corners are the corners. Freeling, Lemon. Some people like Lemon over Tyson, but yeah, I think we just have to stick and go Bailey. I don't think. I think it's just
yeah,
too good of a
and
value.
Dan Quinn's defense. I mean, he needs some more edge depth. He excelled when he had Parsons, obviously when he was in Dallas, and he needs kind of that enforcer, that difference maker on the defensive line in Washington, and I think Bailey could be that.
And you think about who they have to go up against too. They have 3 mobile quarterbacks in the division with Dart and Hurts and Prescott. So
Yeah, I mean, as much of a great value as it is to drop back those next two spots, I mean, I think the value is too high for with Bailey still being on the board here.
yeah. All right. Let's go edge Bailey. Bengals going Mansour Delane. Monroe Freeling for the Dolphins. It's interesting. Keldrick Falk to the Cowboys. Rams going Jordan Tyson.
Okay.
All in on Stafford. Kenyon Sadiq to the Ravens. Vikings coming up for Dylan Tiedemann, 18 and 97 to the Bucks. Dermod McCoy for the Jets. Caleb Lomu for the Lions. That's a great pick. Akeem Mesidor for the Bucks. Avion Terrell for the Panthers. Mekhi Lemon for the Cowboys. Guess George Pickens is gone. Caden
Yeah.
Proctor for the Steelers. Aliva Vega-Ione for the Chargers. Spencer Fano to the Eagles. Omar Cooper Jr. for the Browns. And I'm pausing it real quick just because I want to check something. All right, so I'm okay with the Commanders. And I'm okay with the Saints, I suppose. I was just Peter Woods was coming down, and
Yeah. What's your opinion on Peter Woods?
I mean, it's interesting. The production, obviously, the dip in production last year was tough, but I think he's career wise. I mean, he's experienced as you'll get, and good size. I would definitely take it back into the first round. Definitely take him. I mean,
yeah, I was really high on Peter Woods coming into the season. You know, obviously the dip in production is alarming, but I feel like Clemson as a whole kind of didn't perform up to expectations. You know,
face plant.
But yeah, but I think he can definitely be a dominant player in the right situation. And that's one guy that I'm really fascinated to see where he lands in the draft. I think he can be a really good player.
Yeah, so we don't want to come up right now for. There you go, Peter Woods the Bears.
There we go, like that.
Casey Concepcion to the Bills, TJ Parker for the 49ers, CJ Allen for the Texans. Gosh, making that defense even better. Colton Hood to the Chiefs, Brandon Cisse to the Dolphins, Blake Miller for the Patriots. Seahawks going Chris Johnson. Wow, that's a ton of corners in the first round.
Yeah.
Ty Simpson to the Jets. Chase Basantes for the Cardinals. Christian Miller, Texans coming up 38-141. Cade McDonald for the Raiders. Giants going Keith Abney. Chris Bell for the Titans. Browns going to go Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. Back on with Washington. We can pick up a third next year from Carolina. Move back 11 spots. Dallas is sending us a ton of stuff.
Wow.
All right, we got David Bailey in tow. This is our last pick with Washington unless we move down. The issue with the only offer that is feasible is that, I mean, we would move down and we would pick up a pick next year.
Yeah. I mean, you got a lot of picks with the Dallas trade too, but I don't know if we want to do an interdivision trade.
Well, I also don't want to move down 52 spots.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to let Jerry cook too much.
So you got David Bailey. We need wide receiver. Got Denzel Boston. Actually, I don't think that'd be a terrible selection. I mean, I think the production definitely there. What he had 20 career touchdowns, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he's a guy I could see sneaking into the back half of the first round.
Yeah, and it makes sense for me. Just I'm someone that likes to have diversity in size and body composition in your wide receiver core. So I like to have one or two big guys plus a smaller guy, and you already got the smaller guy in Terry McLaurin. In the slot, you got Traylon Burks, who I guess they're expecting to have him play more of a role. They re-signed him, and he actually played decently for them last year. Still have Luke McCaffrey. It kind of feels like that's a bust pick at this point. As a third rounder going into year 3 this season, hasn't really done anything.
He had some injuries last year too when he was starting to get some more playing time.
Yeah.
Was it the second-year player Jeremy Lane? You think he could do anything with the increased snap percentage this year?
Yeah, Jalen Lane was an interesting one. I don't know why he didn't really play fourth rounder last year, and he's another guy that has size. What do they have him at? Oh no, he's shorter. Never mind. I thought he was a bigger guy. I always do that. 5'9" and 3/8. 196.
I thought he was closer to like 5'11".
Yeah, they rounded up to 5'10.
Yeah.
but they had the official measurement there, 5'9 and 3/8. They did sign some size with De'Ami Brown though, and Van Jefferson. 6'1" for Brown. Jefferson also 6'1". And like I said, McLaurin 6 foot. Burks is massive. Not really 6'2". But yeah, I mean, this would give Jaden Daniels that jump ball guy that, Traylon Burks is kind of. But when you got a guy like Boston at 6'4", 209, I mean, he's going to be going up and
Yeah.
beating a lot of those guys. So I think that's my pick probably as the most glaring need.
Yeah, I'd say him, or I mean, you even got Chris Braswell the second. I mean, that's size and ton of speed. With Jaden Daniels, he loves getting deep down the field. So that's another guy that I could see potentially sliding into that Washington offense.
Yeah, the only other thing would be corner. I mean, I know a lot of people love D'Angelo Pons.
His size just makes me nervous. I know he's
Mhm.
feisty and plays bigger than what he is, but I don't know, man. 5'9" in the NFL at 170 pounds is tough business.
I feel like, and it just popped into my head, he's going to be like this year's Upton Stout.
Mm-hmm. I can see
Because
that.
Upton Stout's so tiny, but he played outside all year last year for San Fran.
Yeah, that's a
But
good.
yeah, I like the
That's
Boston
fine.
pick here.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's give Daniels another weapon.
And we're done with the Commanders now, unless we trade back in. Jacob Rodriguez for the Bengals. Saints back on the clock here. 23 spots for a second and a fifth. I think that is 143. Seahawks sending back into the second, 22 picks and a second next year for a sixth, 190.
Yeah, I think trading back is just not in the DNA of the Saints. It just
Mhm.
won't make sense. So the two things that I'm kind of looking at here is receiver and edge. I think, we added to that defense with the Caleb Downs pick. Now, which direction we want to go? Malachi Lawrence, he's the one who had really short arms combine, right? Like,
He's a guy I have not heard much about. And to be honest, I don't even remember hearing about him at all during the season. Um, yeah, 70th percentile
yeah.
for arm length. I mean, good lord, small hands.
Yeah. I guess,
26%.
yeah. I guess you
Gosh,
don't necessarily need big hands to get to the quarterback, I guess, but, you know,
yeah,
it could be interesting. Zion Young from Missouri, and I've
that
heard
is a
his
guy.
name.
That is a guy I really like. So, being a Georgia Bulldog, I watched SEC all year. All right.
Yeah.
This guy, along with his teammate, which is his teammate's going to be drafted a lot lower, Johnny Walker, which I actually think Johnny
Mm-hmm.
Walker has a kind of better motor. But
Mm-hmm.
Zion Young's ultra productive, um, powerful as well. Can translate the speed to power very well. Convert it.
Okay.
So I really like Zion Young. He'll be a bigger edge. So the Saints still run that. No, they switched to 3-4, right?
Yeah, they're 3-4. It's Brandon Staley's
Yeah.
defense.
But even
So,
so, I mean, 265 on the edge,
yeah,
not terrible on a 3-4.
it'll play. It'll play. I mean, you have Carl Granderson, who's like, about the same size, 260 something, and then Cam Jordan, who's 280 something, playing on the edge there too. So, I think with this, I think we can get a productive, good receiver a little bit later on, and I just feel like the edge rushers, it's going to dry up pretty quick. So, how you feeling about the Zion Young pick?
Yeah, I like it. I really think. I mean, Saints have been lacking the edge production big time edge production, I should say. Really, since Trey Hendrickson left.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a little bit last year with Chase Young and Cam Jordan getting both over 10 sacks, but that's you had Chase Young miss the first 4 or 5 games, so he was playing out of his mind. I just think you want to add some more to that rotation to keep up that production and make it easier on the back end. So I say we go with Zion Young here.
Yeah, definitely got to get younger. Anyways, there's not a lot of depth. They re-signed Chris Rump and
That's Staley's guy, man.
Fadil Diggs going into year 2 as a 7th rounder from last year.
Yeah.
Zion Young. Got one more pick for the Saints in 3rd round. Ted Hurst. I love Ted Hurst so much.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Watch him at the Senior Bowl. Lee Hunter to the Jets. Sam Hecht for the Ravens. D'Angelo Pons the Bucks. Chris Brazzell for the Colts. Keontae Scott for the Falcons. Malachi Lawrence, Patriots, 63 and 95 coming up for the Vikings. AJ Halsey to the Lions. Genesis Smith to the Panthers. Packers going trading Stukes. Gosh,
what are you thinking?
I don't really have it. I don't have it as a need at all. Well, initially tackle was my last need for Washington because I thought they needed some depth.
Mm-hmm.
Saints, I didn't have tackle at all. I had interior O-line, which David Edwards pick, and I like the depth pretty much. Definitely don't need tackle for the Saints.
No.
It is intriguing if we come up for Washington. Maxi Achor is a guy I absolutely loved at the Senior Bowl. His anchor and his drive in the run game is excellent. He can play, 4 positions, both guards and tackle spots.
Tunsil's getting a little bit older too, and he's dealt with some injuries throughout his career.
Athleticism is fantastic on pulls as well. You look at, I don't know what that's saying, but yeah, arm length, he's only 43rd percentile.
Yeah.
But gosh, they're killing him in the hand size.
Yeah. 3rd percentile there.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you need it to punch, but he's a guy I really like.
Okay.
And they're listing him as a tackle. I would put him at guard, which again isn't something that necessarily the Commanders need.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We don't have any picks, so we have to trade future selections more than likely to come up.
Yeah. Would you compare him kind of similar to Sam Cosmi, the right guard that they have currently, the former Texas tackle that kicked in the guard, and he has a flexibility where he can play tackle in a pinch?
Yeah, probably. I'm blanking on my thoughts on Cosmi when he came out. But yeah, so we really don't have. We'd have to trade future picks to come up. And if you think he's your left tackle of the future, I guess. But without a definite need, I love the value. I guess we're just going to keep moving on.
All right, we'll see. We'll see where he lands.
Steelers go Emmanuel Pregnon. Gabe Jacas for the Eagles. Chargers should take him. Okay. Cassius Howe to the Chargers. Jags going Emmett Johnson. Bears can take him, definitely. Oscar Delp. That doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Anthony Hill.
Yeah.
The Niners should have taken him. Anthony Hill to the 49ers. Parker Brailsford to the Texans. Caleb Banks. Bengals coming up 72, 110. R. Mason Thomas for the Rams. Will Lee III for the Broncos. Antonio Williams for the Vikings. There you go. Cardinals flipping one spot, 65 and a 7th next year. Maxi and
Not
Achor for
bad.
the Cardinals. That's a great pick. Mike Washington Jr. for the Seahawks. Titans going Caleb Tiernan. Jeremy Bernard. I was going to say, I didn't know if you wanted to come up because I saw Bernard and Skylar Bell at the top there.
Yeah, I got a couple guys in mind. I'm going to see how the board falls.
All right, Eagles should take Skylar Bell, I hope, or Julian Neal. Yep, there you go.
There we go.
Jennings Dunker for the Texans. Brown's going to go Davis Nicholson. Dominique Orange for the Chiefs. Kamari Ramsey to the Bears. And we are on with the Saints. Ravens, 7 picks for a 4 next year.
Okay. What else we got?
Broncos, a lot. 30.
Yeah. You know what? Let's I'm not sure how the Ravens are going to perform this year. I feel that they feel like they're in a kind of transition. I know they signed Trey Hendrickson and whatnot. Let's go on and fall back 7 spots, pick up a future 4th. I like that.
All right. Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, you got really not a ton of wide. You got, I guess Elijah Surratt's coming up and Jacoby Lane. Yep. They go up for Julian Neal. Demetrius Crown over to the Chiefs. Dolphins going to go Keelan Rutledge. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Jacoby Lane to the Steelers. I like that. Deontay Lawson for the Bucks. Colts going to go Jake Golday. Lewis Moore for Falcons. Back on with the Saints. Giants want to come up 25 spots for a 3rd round pick next year. Sending back a 6th 190. The Broncos, similar trade, except we don't have to give up a pick this year. Give up a 6 next year. It's not even ours. It's the Chargers.
Yeah. You know, I think I'm going to stick and pick. I don't really like too much of that there. I like Elijah Surratt. I think that could be definitely a guy here. I also like Deion Burks out of Oklahoma. I think he's a really good player. There's a lot of speed there. Who else do we have a receiver on the board?
Bryce Lance.
It's not bad. Zachariah Branch, Brendan Thompson. I still feel like there's some guys that are here that, you know, like Tyron Montgomery. You got Jordan Hudson from SMU. Like, you got a lot of guys you get later in the rounds. So maybe I don't pull the trigger at receiver. We kind of maybe look at tight end depth here. Who do we have at tight end?
I didn't think they needed tight end anymore with the Noah Fant signing.
It's a 1-year deal. I mean, you still got Eli Stowers on the board. That's not a.
Hey man, they drafted Maliki Mataval last year in the 7th round. He's going in year 2.
Yeah, you never know. You know, this is a tough position here. If we could maybe potentially look at some interior depth as well.
You want
Connor
to know
Lew from Auburn.
You want to know where I would go?
Talk to me.
I mean, I would definitely pick Elijah Surratt. I mean, that's for sure my number. I mean, he was a stud at JMU, a stud at Indiana, and he's got great size, 6'2", 209. Would pair well, I think, putting him on the outside, put Olave back in the slot, because you didn't trade a 4th rounder for Devon Vele for nothing.
Yeah. I think you got Jalen Polk, who they signed, former 2nd rounder.
Yeah.
See what he can be.
Bub Means played excellent last year as well. I was surprised at how well he played. He's going in the year.
He's dealt with a lot of injuries early in his career so far. I mean, I like Elijah Surratt. I think it could definitely add another element to that receiving room, add some more size because, you know, outside of Vele, there's not too much size there. So
I was going to say, if you want to go bigger, got Bryce Lance, who's an inch taller. Excellent production. Dakota State. The one corner you got Malik Muhammad.
It's good.
have too much to say about Malik Muhammad. Grayson Halton, if you're just going on BPA, I mean, Halton's a guy that I didn't know too much going into the Senior Bowl about, but he showed me why he should get picked high. I mean, he was balling out all week in Mobile. Again, a guy I didn't really know anything about going in, but after
Yeah, that Oklahoma defense was pretty elite this year. It felt like they have a lot of guys on that roster there. I think let's add some more talent around Chuck. I mean, you're still on that rookie deal. Let's add more playmakers. Let's have him sling it. Let's go Elijah Surratt.
All right. Last pick for our teams tonight. Josiah Trotter for the Jags. Max Clare to the Vikes. Panthers going Drew Shelton. Packer, there's Grayson Halton. Jags 88 and 166. Joshua Josephs for the Steelers. Bryce Lance for the Chargers.
Pair him with his brother.
Yeah. Justin Jolie for the Dolphins. Derek Moore for the Packers. Connor Liu, Vikings coming up. 95, 163. Deny Dennis Sutton to the Dolphins. Jude Bowery for the Bills. Tacario Davis for the Cowboys. Ravens. Darrell Jackson Jr. 115, 154, 162. Damon Claiborne for the Dolphins. Chandler Rivers for the Bears. Brian Parker for the Seahawks. Bucks going to go Eli Stowers. Eagles going Hezekiah Massis. Steelers Jonah Coleman. And the Jags, they go Malik Muhammad. There he is.
Makes sense.
All right, so here's what we got. We didn't have a lot of picks. The Saints had 3. Got Caleb Downs at 8, Zion Young at 42, Elijah Surratt. We traded back 80, picked up a 4th rounder for the Ravens next year. Commanders, we moved around and moved back 2 spots. Still got David Bailey, who was great value at 9. And then same trade, we moved up 31 spots there and got Denzel Boston in the 2nd round.
Some great value there for both picks for Washington. I mean, those are instantly add some life to that franchise.
Yeah, and I think this is one of the rare times where I think both teams really made out. I like really both of these drafts for sure.
Yeah.
All right. That is the show for tonight. Thank you for coming on, Christian. Thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media at FAA Podcast, Instagram and X, FAA_bets on X as well. FAApodcast.com is a website. Check us out here on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram, as well as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and TikTok at FAA or at Football Addicts Pod. I always get that one wrong. We will be back on Thursday, and the next mock up on Thursday, that is going to be the Chargers and Go Birds, my Eagles. We're doing the Eagles on Thursday, so I'm excited for that.
There we go.